feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank, coming to you from the Business Accelerant Studio. I'm Brad Berger, along with my co-host Dan Whedon. Our guest today is Kim Karrick with Scratch Distillery. We just had an intriguing and fun conversation with Kim. To listen to the entire podcast, visit shrimptankpodcast.com/Seattle or now through iHeartRadio. You can still subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, and we are always interested in your feedback, so please do not forget to rate us. So, Kim, what makes Scratch Distillery unique?
Well, it seemed to me that it would be pretty obvious, but I've learned that it isn't. So from scratch, we make everything from scratch. So just like cooking, we start with good ingredients, organic, non-GMO ingredients, things that we get from as near as our front yard, basically, of the distillery are some plants that we have planted out in the gardens for some of the gin botanicals, PCC, fresh citrus. We start by making our own mash, doing our own fermentation, controlling the whole process, the distillation, the infusion, proofing, bottling, everything's done from scratch.
Well, Kim, as you know, I have been to your tasting room many times, and in fact, I am a scratcher. I'm a member of your group.
Scratch Pride Spirits Club.
That's it. I'm a member of the club. Talk a little bit about your fantastic tasting room, where you probably do most of your sales. Talk about your tasting room as well as your club.
So our tasting room, we're right in Edmonds, right down by the ferry, toll booths, old antique mall building, and a lot of people know it from that. Old Safeway, if you go back far enough. Beautiful build out. We rent it out for events, but obviously the tasting room, we do most of our sales out of it. And we've made it about the community, bringing people to us, the education, that's a big part of it for my husband and I. And so we have our Spirits Club that we created that's part of, again, our friendship, our circle of our biggest fans. And so we have quarterly releases, kind of like wine clubs in the area, special things that are just for club members, first access to things, special parties for them, little bonuses we throw out throughout the year.
Well, Kim, you guys do a lot of cool things, but there's one thing in particular that I thought was incredibly unique. Could you tell the audience a little bit about your class?
Oh, yeah, GINiology. So we have a couple different things. We have Gin Equals Love is in 12 feet across the wall, because I think it takes somebody a lot of passion about gin to make a really good gin. But also our GINiology class gives people the opportunity to make their own gin. So I'm convinced everybody can like gin. It's just finding that right botanical mixture for the right person. So we distill 33 things all separately. So again, gin starts as vodka. Let me back up for a second. So we infuse 33 different vodkas with singular flavors. So the juniper, coriander, citruses, florals, spices, barks. So it's a deconstructed gin. So people come in, we do a fun history of spirits in a fun way of, no tests at the end. So it's just meant to spark curiosity.
That's the only test?
Exactly. Do a detailed tour, talk about how we do it, why we think it's different, point at all the pretty little things in the distillery, all the shiny stuff, and most importantly, go back and try the 33 different things, decide what you like, what you don't like, and then we help blend your own bottle that you go home with, and you can reorder your own recipe. It's a hoot.
That's fantastic.
Well, Kim, thank you for being here and joining us today. I'm sure everybody who's watching or listening to the podcast would love to learn more about you and get in touch. How do they do that? Kim@scratchdistillery.com is my email.
Happy to answer any questions. Website's just www.scratchdistillery.com. GINiology.com will take you directly to that page of our website.
Well, once again, this is just a taste of what you can expect by listening to the entire podcast. Visit shrimptankpodcast.com/Seattle or listen to us on iHeartRadio. You can also subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. We'd love to hear from you, and please do not forget to rate us. Thanks to all of our Shrimp Peeler sponsors and to you, our listeners and followers.
Our next show from the Business Accelerant Studio will be Wednesday, January 22nd, when our guest will be Ashley Keys with Keys Medical Group. We hope you'll join us then. For right now, the hay is in the barn.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond.